and leaning slightly forward, and you should feel a stretch right here in the front of your hip. And then, as you feel that stretch, you should back off a little bit and then go again and deepen the stretch and arch your back slightly. And then you'll feel the stretch again, hold it for about a second or two, and then back off. We're going to do 5 of those, so that was 2. And then you'll deepen the stretch. And then that was 3, 2 more. Then you should always feel it right around here. 4, and then 1 more. 5. Now we're going to switch legs, because you want to do it on both sides. Keep yourself nice and even. You may actually feel that one side is tighter than the other, and that's okay. So that's perfectly normal. Just stretch to your own comfortability and don't push it to the point of pain. So same concept, you're gonna just lean forward, keep your back nice and straight, and you'll feel a stretch right in the front of your hip. Do 5 of those too as well. 1, 2, 3. I'll do 2 more. 4, and 5. So the next stretch we're going to do is going to be a stretch for the deeper part of the hip. Same spot, that hip flexor area, but a little bit deeper in. It's a little bit more challenging. What you're going to do is you're going to, same position, one foot in front of the other, in a staggered stance like this, and you're going to think about turning your foot out away from you. So it's going to be a slight angle like that, and you're going to, you'll see my hips tuck under. So you'll tuck your hips under and just reach up towards the ceiling with your chest, so point your chest towards the ceiling. And you'll feel the stretch a little bit deeper, more on the inside of the hip. And we'll do that 5 times as well. 2, 3. And this one you want to focus on getting your chest, pointing your chest up towards the ceiling, and feel that nice deep stretch on the inside. 4, and then 1 more. 5. And then what you'll do is switch sides, because you want to keep yourself nice and even. You'll be able to see this one a little bit better on this leg. You want to turn your knee, like I said, you want to take your knee and turn it away from your body, so your ankle's actually not, your foot's not in line with the back of your leg anymore, it's kind of on an angle. And you're going to do that same concept. You're going to pull your hips under you and just think about bringing your chest up towards the ceiling. That's 1. We'll do 5 of these as well. 2. And like I said, you may notice one side is a little bit tighter than the other, and that's okay. It's perfectly normal. It could be the way you sit. It could be anything. That's usually how our body is. Usually one side's a little bit tighter than the other. And then 1 more. You just hold it for about a second or 2. Don't go to any point of pain. Don't go to discomfort. If you want to advance this exercise a little bit more, hi Leanne, then you can do that same thing. Turn the knee out, and I'm not going to do all 5 of these, but this is just a variation to make it a little bit harder. And then arch your hips up, and then you can actually bend away from that side, and then you'll get the stretch in the side, and you'll get the stretch all through your hip flexor up through here. That's just another variation you can do for this exercise. It can help loosen you up, and that'll help loosen up the front of the hips. So the next one we're going to do is to stretch the inside. Your adductor muscles are called, the inside of your hips. This one is a very intense stretch, but it actually feels pretty good. And what you're going to do is you're going to be on all 4s. You're going to think about having your knees past. So I have this green mat, so my knees are going to be past the green mat. And then you're going to let them slide out as much as you can comfortably. Your knees are going to actually be in line. Your feet are going to be in line with your knees, so you don't want any twisting or anything like this. You want to keep them nice and straight. And then all you're going to do is lean back till you feel a stretch, and you're going to feel a stretch deep in here. If you don't feel a stretch this way, you can either bring your legs further out more or drop to your elbows and sit back. For me, sitting back on my elbows is a much deeper stretch. And you'll still rock this one. It'll be just 5. So that's 2, 3, And if you want, as you're getting looser and looser, you can bring your knees a little bit more out and you get a deeper stretch. 4, and then 1 more. And 5. Like I said, you want to start here. If you don't really feel much with this and you can get pretty far back, then you can go to your elbows. As you get looser and looser, you can bring your knees wider and wider to loosen yourself up a little bit more. The next stretch is something I like to call the Spiderman stretch. I really like it. It hits the inside of your thigh, the back of your thigh, and back of your hips, all that area. A little more complicated, but just go slow with it. Don't push through any pain or anything like that. So once again, you're on all fours. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna think about bringing your foot even with your hand. So this is my right hand, my right foot's even with that. Now what you're gonna do is try and get your elbow to the mat. I won't be able to reach it because my hips are pretty tight. So you go down, you hold it for a second or two and then come back. And then you switch sides. Bring this hip up, drop down, and then you'll notice one side may be tighter than the other, one side may be looser. My left seems a little bit looser than my right, so I was able to get closer to the mat. And you'll do 5 times with this as well. 2. This is our third one. And as you can see, I get a little bit farther each time now, just because I'm loosening up more. And that's really what mobility exercises and stretches are, just to help loosen you up. And you'll notice you'll get deeper and deeper each one. And you kind of want to push the boundaries each time for each stretch. So go to the point of a nice strong stretch. Should be comfortable. It shouldn't be painful. And I'm terrible at counting. I think this is my 4th one on the left. So we'll do 1 more. Get nice and deep. If you can get your hand down, that's great.